Hey, Dillinger 101 here. How's it going? What a beautiful morning. What a beautiful morning. Camped out last night. And I tell you, it was just really nice out. Let me have some hot tea. No coffee. Cutting back on the caffeine. You gotta watch the old nervous system. I hope I just didn't set that down there and melt that. What a great morning, though. What a great night. What a great night camping out. And I mean, I'm out here. There's just no light pollution except from this campfire and this freebie little light I got from the bank that is really, I can't believe the battery has not went on me. My other flashlight, the battery went on me in the middle of the night, but that's okay. Let me see here. A little bit of the tent. But boy, I tell you what, listen, hey, what's going on with this old world? What's going on with this? It's, talking nuclear war. There's these places like Lake Mead, Lake Powell, the Rhines River. Uh, there's drought and there's flooding. Wow, it's just a crazy time out there. I mean, there are actually leaders, threatening nuclear war, and boy, I tell you what, And one old expert, he said, what he said was, he said, they said, well, what do you predict? And he says, well, it'll be a lot worse over the next 30 years. It'll be a lot worse over the next 30 years. Wow. Of course, my age, I may not be around here at that time at all. I'd be a pretty old man next 30 years, but in my 90s. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just time that, and like in Russia, the war, they're drafting these people that don't want to be drafted. They're making them fight their own countrymen. I just don't know. It's total chaos. And excuse me, I'm 60 years old, and there's always been chaos. The world's always totally been chaos. You have to have your good, your bad, your yin, your yang. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just that's just one of the things, of the universe, one of the rules. But it's just something else. These uptight, short-sighted, narrow-minded hypocrites, boy, in these suits and these really tight shirts around their necks, and these, I tell you, they're just corporate is just running the world, man. But we have to have it. But it's the abuse of what you have. And abuse of what you have is part of the human condition. I mean, that's what we do best because it's almost the easiest thing to do, you know? And I don't care what you are, you will take the path of least resistance in most cases. And there always is exceptions to any case, of course. Now, that being said, what are we going to do about this world? Well, I tell you what, not a lot we really can do about this climate change thing. And listen, it's going to happen. It happens. It's done it thousands of times, this old earth has. Like George Carlin said, if there's nuclear destruction, all this different stuff, as long as the Earth's not knocked off its axis, the Earth's going to be here. We may not be here, but the Earth's going to be here. No sign of us. Maybe a few pieces of styrofoam here and there. But, yeah, I just don't know. There's not much we can do. They say, well, work on the things you can do. And, as far as climate change, they say, do this, do that, your carbon footprint. And hey, listen, what man's done is just it's not. I mean, if the numbers are true and you can't believe anybody, you can't believe anything, any analysis, any of that. Well, Sierra Cup's still pretty warm. It's nice, and you know, because everybody cooks things to their favor. You know what I'm saying? So you just you can load all the information you want to load from the media in your head, and you just don't have any clue of the accuracy. You know, I was born in Missouri, the show me state, and it's just hard for me to really have a solid opinion on a lot of things because I can't see it, I can't touch it, I can't feel it. I am not a witness to whatever it may be. I have to go by someone's word. And let me tell you about someone's word. Yeah, you got it. You just can't hardly take anybody's word for anything anymore. I mean, you know, I've gotten older. I just can't believe a lot of the immaturity I see is so people in their 60s and 70s and things that are just, still act like they're 12 years old in some thing. It's just part of the human condition. Now I'm getting off track, but anyhow, um, yeah, there's just nothing we're going to be able to do about it except just be kind to each other. That's all we can do. I mean, if it's just going to get worse over the next 30 years, you know, and really, it's not that bad right now. It's not, but they'll make you believe it is. You just don't know who to believe. You don't know. You can fill your head with every bit of the information out there. You just really, you really, truly don't know. Because they cook the numbers. It's 6 one and a half dozen the other. I mean, it's just. But I'll tell you, it's been the same though. I mean, I grew up in the Vietnam War era, and my relatives were Korean War veterans, and my grandfather and things were World War II veterans. So I mean, my life, my generation has had a lot of war. I mean, you watch Vietnam War every night on the news, and watch college students riot and just like things have been going on the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, that's the turbulent '60s. The '60s, they say, was a place. It was a time of peace and love. It was a pretty turbulent time. We was impeaching presidents and had wars going on and protesters and yeah, it was a very turbulent time. So you younger kids, I just want you to know that it's a lot of times it's not as bad as what it seems. Don't let the outer world around you guide you too much about what you think or what you're going to do. Don't let it stop you from doing anything because there is so much of the industry, there's so much of everything that runs off of fear, that runs off of your fear. Your fear makes a lot of people rich. And what makes that money? They're going to feed you. And fear makes money, and that's what they're feeding you. It's always going to be turbulent times. It's always been turbulent times. There's just not a lot we can do about it. Light fell over. But the one thing we can do is just be nice to each other. Be kinder to each other. And I know it's easy to say, hard to do. Sometimes it's hard, forgiveness and different things to that degree. Well, I've rambled long enough now. I like to keep these at 10 minutes or less. Don't worry. If you're one of the younger people and you happen to see this video, it's always going to be like this. It has for the 60 years of my life. But I've had a dang good life, and I've enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun. Don't let fear run your life and your decisions. Live it. Dillinger 101. We're out of here. Everybody's going to the moon.